Hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. If you're in the chat, say good morning. Hopefully, you all are doing well. Hopefully, you're doing better than me. I have been very sick the last few days, but finally, I'm feeling a little bit better today. Tomorrow, I should be back tomorrow, hopefully, like to actually feeling like myself. But Friday and Saturday was rough, man. I was really sick. But we're here. Dewan, what's up? Guru, CJ. Yeah, I think tomorrow will be good. Paz, what's up? We're gonna probably be like I'll stay on until like noon or a little after. We'll answer questions. I will run through the DFS slate real quick and give my thoughts there, and then I'll give you guys some touchdown picks that I like for today as well. For some reason, this. Oh, here we go. Yeah, if you guys have questions, start filing those in. Fly Eagles Fly. Yep, play tomorrow night. No Eagles on the slate today. But yeah, all right, let's get in. So, Joe, what's up? If we look at DraftKings, I'll go positional here. I hate when people call me like when I'm on a stream. Like, you know what's going on here. And I guarantee they're calling me to ask me fantasy questions. Why don't they come in and ask in the stream? Yeah, we'll win some money today, Mitchell, and it'll help out. But if we look at DK, start off at quarterback. In terms of ownership projections, I'm seeing Josh Allen, Drake May, Lamar, Baker Mayfield as the top 4 highest projected owned players. I think from a cash game perspective on FanDuel today, I think you're going to play Marcus Mariota. He's too cheap, and there's really not a lot of salary relief on FanDuel. So you kind of have to get a little bit unique with your team over there. So I think Marcus Mariota is the clear cash game option on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it's a little bit more of a conversation. I think you can either go up and lock in Josh Allen against the Miami Dolphins at 7K, or I think you drop down to the mid-tier. So when I say the mid-tier, you have Marcus Mariota right there. You have Mac Jones at 5K. You have J.J. McCarthy at 4,900. You have even Jacoby Brissett at 46. Like, I feel like that group of guys is in play. And then Josh Allen. There's like 2 separate ways you can build your team. I kind of want to play Josh Allen on DraftKings personally just because I know I'm going to be playing Marcus Mariota on FanDuel. So I kind of like getting I'm going to have a Josh Allen tournament team anyways, but I kind of like getting that Josh Allen team in there just because it kind of separates the builds out a little bit. So I'm kind of leaning towards that right now, but I think there's a good build with Josh Allen, and I think there's a good build by dropping down and using one of those cheaper guys. I'd probably rank McCarthy versus Mac Jones is a tough conversation. I don't know if I have a firm lean between those 2 guys right now. I agree, Guru. Honestly, there's a lot of good games this week that I like. I like Baltimore, just like looking at the games as a whole. Obviously, Atlanta, Indy, good game that's going on right now. But Baltimore, Minnesota is a good game. New England, Tampa is a good game. Arizona, Seattle, honestly, with how Arizona's been playing with Brissett, is a good game. Rams and 49ers is a good game. The 2 primetime games, both are really good as well. So several good games on the board today. CJ, you asked Quinshawn and Juwan Jennings versus Travion and Wandale for cash games. I would lean towards the second one there. So we can kind of transfer over to running back now, I guess, on DraftKings. So in terms of ownership projections, McCaffrey, Rico, Achane, James Cook, Quinton Judkins, Trevion Henderson, Kyron Williams. Those are kind of the top guys I'm seeing in terms of ownership projections. I think you're playing Rico Dowdle for sure. And then I think you kind of have to pick between. There's not a ton of salary relief, so I think some people will be deciding between whether they want to plug in Christian McCaffrey or if they want to plug in Jackson Smith and the Jigba at receiver. I think that's kind of the conversation. It's a little tough to fit 3 running backs in, to be honest, unless you use McCaffrey on DraftKings, because I think at least so when I sim stuff and what I'm seeing and how I think people are going to build, I think the double tight end lineups are going to. We had this earlier this year. There was a slate a few weeks ago where I came on the stream and I said, I really just don't want to play a double tight end lineup because it's not fun. And then that ended up being the correct move. And, I should have done that. I think once again, this is setting up for double tight end week. So unless you use McCaffrey, it's kind of hard to get 3 running backs in because I think you're definitely playing Rico. And then, you have that other group of Achane and then like Trevion Henderson at 56 is kind of where I think you're deciding. And then you got to pick between McCaffrey and JSN as like your spend up, I guess. If you're using Josh Allen, it's a little bit tougher as well. So the stuff I was looking at earlier, did not have the stuff I was looking at earlier with Josh Allen did not have McCaffrey, obviously, and it had 2 tight ends. So that's kind of like where I'm leaning right now. If you want to drop off of Josh Allen and play either Mac Jones or JJ McCarthy, I think maybe you could do something then potentially to get your 3 running backs in. I think that's kind of like where the conversation is for me right now. But I don't know what I'm playing. I have all my teams locked in for tournaments. I have both my tournament FanDuel teams and my cash team on FanDuel locked in. I have all my tournament teams on DraftKings locked in. I have not locked in my cash game team yet on DraftKings. I'm just kind of working through, I guess, whether or not I want to. Right now, I'm leaning no McCaffrey, which kind of scares me, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I feel safer with JSN, to be honest with you. And Arizona's down a bunch of corners as well. Yeah, for tournaments at running back, I like Derrick Henry a lot, to be honest. He's 6,800 on DraftKings. He's pretty affordable on FanDuel too. So Derrick Henry definitely sticks out to me as a really strong play. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know how many people want to play Jahmyr Gibbs. He's kind of had a couple bad games in a row, but a game where, I think Detroit is going to have plenty of success scoring the ball. This could be the bounce back for him. He's only 8K. I know he's had a couple bad weeks, but he should be closer priced to CMC. Like, I feel like 8K for Jahmyr Gibbs is a discount, to be honest with you. So I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I like Derrick Henry, both those guys for tournaments. And then if you want a lower owned kind of, this would be larger field. I don't currently have any of him, but I still believe that Kyle Monangai is going to play a big role for the Bears, even with DeAndre Swift back. It's bad weather in that game. The totals come down a bunch. Could definitely see Chicago, ride their run game. And I think Kyle Monangai is better than DeAndre Swift personally. And I think there's a chance he plays more than like expected, even with Swift back. So that would be a larger field, kind of risky one. But I like Derrick Henry and I like Jahmyr Gibbs a lot for tournaments. And then I would throw Kyron Williams in there as well, to whoever asked that question. It's kind of like Kyron Williams has been due for touchdown regression for years and years, and then it's finally been hitting. I mean, Matthew Stafford has thrown an insane amount of touchdown passes inside the 5 the last couple weeks. That's not going to sustain fully. I still feel like if it's a close game, they're going to lean on Kyron Williams and not Blake Corum. The Rams are favored. So I do like Kyron Williams a little bit in tournaments as well. Switching over to receiver. In terms of ownership projections, JSN, Zay Flowers, Puka, St. Brown, Ibuka, Tez Johnson, Juwan Jennings, Debo. Those are the guys that I'm kind of seeing at the top there. I'd probably throw Diggs into that mix too. Diggs, I think, is a really good play on FanDuel for cash games. So I throw him in there too. But overall, like I said, I'm going to try and get JSN in my cash team. I like Tez Johnson at 45. I think he's a really good play for cash and tournaments. Parker Washington's fine again at 47 as well. For tournaments, once again, Jordan Addison. I've played this guy quite a bit since he came back from suspension. I like him again today. I think he's a really good play. Jalen Waddle on the opposite side of Josh Allen stuff, I like. I'm trying to see if anyone else really jumps out at me. I'm trying to remember who I played. Right now I have a Josh Allen team. I have a Baker team and a Lamar team for tournaments on DraftKings. That's kind of where my head is there. You could sell me like Diggs, like I said, he's not really popping, honestly. I'm seeing him 11% owned on DraftKings. I think he's a really good play. Yeah, for a Mariota stack, I would probably just lean in and play Debo. Nobody wants to play Debo. And I still feel like his ceiling is the highest of all the Washington guys. I know he's really struggled since he got banged up a few weeks ago. But if I was playing, I don't have Mariota right now on DraftKings in a team, but I would just ride Debo with him if I was going to do that. No one else like sticks out. Garrett Wilson, you could sell me on. That's about it, to be honest with you. In terms of lower owned guys, I guess if you want to get crazy and really bet on a role change, Kyle Williams for the Patriots. This is someone that they drafted and got a ton of positive talk in training camp. It really has not had an opportunity, but we have some positive, kind of reporting and coach speak that he's going to see a bigger role today. That would not be a small field play for me. That would be large field. But if you're playing Drake May or Baker Mayfield and you want to get really unique in the larger field stuff, Kyle Williams, flat minimum price on DraftKings, you could sell me on him. And then Cedric Tillman on FanDuel is really cheap. I actually think he is a cash option there just because there's no value to speak of really on FanDuel, and you got to get unique to make your team, like I said earlier. So I do think Cedric Tillman is in play on FanDuel, but I'd just play Kyle Williams on DK if I was looking for a really, really cheap guy. And then I would throw in Keon Coleman as well, kind of going with the Josh Allen stuff. I think most people that play Josh Allen will use like Shakir or Kincaid. I don't hate using Keon Coleman. He could still, I know he really hasn't done anything since week 1, but he could catch a long touchdown for sure. Miami, profiles as a pass funnel defense. Good spot for him to get going. So Keon Coleman in your Josh Allen stack looks a little bit unique to me as well. And then wrapping up at tight end, like I said, I think double tight end is probably the move right now on DraftKings cash games. In ownership projection, Hunter Henry, Trey McBride, George Kittle, Sam Laporta, Cade Otton. Those guys are all popping. Probably pick 2 of those guys. Right now, my lean would be to try and get McBride and Henry is what I'm trying to do. But I don't hate Kittle either. So we'll see. I think on FanDuel, you have to play Trey McBride. On DraftKings, it's a little bit more of a conversation, but we'll kind of see. I've not finalized my DraftKings build yet. But FanDuel, I'm definitely playing Trey McBride. For tournaments, Kincaid, like I said, going along with Josh Allen. Don't hate David Njoku, a flyer there at 3,200. And then I like Isaiah Likely. So I have Isaiah Likely in my Lamar team. I think he's going to be very, very low owned. I know Andrew scored the 2 touchdowns last week in the Ravens game, but that was the only thing he did. I like Isaiah Likely. You guys know I've bet on him quite a bit in the past. Feel pretty good about his role, especially in this matchup against Minnesota. What do we know about Minnesota? They blitz a lot. Lamar has been elite, top of the league against the blitz this season. I think it sets up as a lot of potential for yards after the catch. I'm going to pull up. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, Lamar almost 10 yards per pass attempt against the blitz this year. Lions onslaught is fine, Mitchell. You can do that there's no team better to onslaught than the Lions. It's fine. Definitely fine with that. And then defense finishing up here. For tight end tournaments, I just kind of fill my stacks in typically. And that's how I would go about that. I think, Browns, Bucks, Jets tier looks pretty high on. You have Jaguars there too at 26. I like Carolina correlating with Dowdle a lot today. I mean, the Saints are just dead in the water. They traded away Penning. They're down a couple other linemen. It's Tyler Shugg. I don't know. I like Dowdle correlated with the Panthers defense. I like taking a little flyer on Derrick Henry correlated with the Ravens defense. J.J. McCarthy is still capable of turning the ball over, even though I like him. And it goes hand in hand. Derrick Henry, the current version of Derrick Henry is not usable when the Ravens are trailing. So if you're betting on Derrick Henry to have a good game, you might as well bet on the defense to have a good game too, because those two really do go hand in hand. And then Chicago, you could look at their defense, bad weather against the Giants. I mean, you could look at the Giants defense too, to be quite honest with you. There could be some turnovers on both sides of that game. Giants pass rush could certainly get after Caleb a little bit in that bad weather. So those spots for tournaments look good to me. If you guys have questions on DFS or anything, go ahead and ask, and then I'm going to run through some bets real quick. Tony said Kenneth Walker, Olave, Singletary, Waddle, Quentin Johnston, non-PPR. You need one for a flex. I'd probably go Jalen Waddle there, Tony, but Quentin Johnston is close. Let me check my projections, and then I'll do half. I know it's non-PPR, but I can look at half PPR projections to give me a little bit of a better idea. And just see. Let me check for you real quick. I would imagine those two are pretty close. Yeah, I have Waddle. Waddle's like a 1.5 ahead of Olave, and he's like 2 or 3 ahead of Johnston. So I would go Jalen Waddle there, Tony, that was kind of my gut reaction anyways. So I'd feel pretty confident with that one. I don't have any sides today. So first and foremost, if you guys were tapped in yesterday, pretty good college betting day, even with the sickness I've been dealing with. Almost 3-unit profit on the college side of things yesterday. So feeling pretty good about that. But for today, I don't have any sides that I like, really. Mac Jones, Swift, or Kamani Vidal Superflex. I'd just go with a quarterback, Leroy. I'd roll Mac Jones there. Don't have any sides I like. I do like some touchdowns. So in the Baltimore-Minnesota game, Jordan Addison. Been betting him pretty regularly. You can get him 2-1 on Bet365, so I like that. And I also had a dream Jordan Addison scored a touchdown last night. So we'll see if the fever dreams are telling at all. But I do like Jordan Addison in that game, anyways. I like Kyle Monangai in the Bears game. You get him like plus 150. Feel pretty good about that. Even if Swift comes back and is pretty involved, there's still a chance that Monangai gets goal line carries. Like that is a feasible expectation there. So Monangai I like. Jordan Addison, I like. Oronde Gadsden tonight against the Steelers. Anytime touchdown, I'll be taking him first touchdown there as well. And then I did the same. Like Monangai, I did anytime and first. I did anytime at first on Addison as well. I'm trying to look through these other games. I mean, I like Kyron Williams to score, but he's like even money, so you're not getting a huge discount there. But those are guys off the top of my head that I like for touchdown: Kyron Williams, Jordan Addison, Kyle Monangai, Oronde Gadsden in the Sunday night game. Ladder play. I didn't take one. If I had to pick one, there's a couple that come to mind. Let me look at their props and see. I think there's some value, honestly, on like Garrett Wilson stuff, depending what his prop is. It's 55.5 receiving yards. I would say so, there's some potential there. I would say Rico Dowdle, but his line is probably juicy. Yeah. Oh my God. Rico Dowdle's rushing prop is 92.5 yards. It's insane. Scratch that one. Garrett Wilson, I think there's some value there. Picking one of the Bills, there's definitely ladder potential with the Bills. Whether you want to risk Coleman or Kincaid, like something along those lines. I definitely think Josh Allen can have a good day passing. So there's some big value there. And then Gadsden tonight, I think there's probably some value there. His prop is 52.5. So Garrett Wilson, Oronde Gadsden, and then pick and choose Kincaid or Coleman. Those would be the spots that come to mind for me for a ladder play today. But I did not take anything personally. Herbert rushing at 24. Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, we've talked about that all season. I could see betting him for a touchdown too. Like, I still feel like that's pretty good value. Let me see what the Steelers have done. I mean, I don't typically like to do this, but just for a quick glance, let's see. Rushing yards to quarterbacks. They're like middle of the pack. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look stylistically at the matchup a little bit deeper, but I do feel like there's value on that. We've kind of been on that all year. But yeah, overall, quicker stream today. Apologies, guys. Like, I have been super sick the last few days, so hopefully you guys make some money today. I'm feeling a little bit better today, so I think tomorrow I should be back 100%. So we'll have a stream tomorrow regardless, but hopefully I'm feeling better. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, I'll be live. We will talk Monday Night Football and some other stuff. Recap. We got a bunch of stuff to go through, to be honest, because I didn't get to stream Friday because I was not feeling well. But hopefully feeling better tomorrow. Good luck today if you're playing DFS in your fantasy matchups, if you're betting. I'll tweet out my touchdown picks if you guys join late, but I'll post it on Twitter. Go show some love on that tweet. Hopefully we hit those today. And yeah, I'll see everybody tomorrow.